Well, look at that. Are we back? Is it time for another week of the Fireside Tales with Indigo? That would be this guy. With or without this guy, we would be broadcasting. Maybe. I don't know if that made sense or not. But we are, and it's awesome, and we're back, and I'm so stoked. And yeah, who wants to play some D&D? Who wants to watch some D&D? I know I want to be involved with all of that, so let's quickly go ahead and jump back over. For tonight, this is the only time you're going to see this face for the rest of the evening. We just had an awesome new player join us in the last couple of weeks, and so when I get the redesign completed, we'll be seeing all the faces, but I wanted to make sure to get all the players on there for you guys to be able to kind of watch them enjoy this game we all enjoy. So let's go ahead and jump on over to that real quick. And look at all these beautiful faces. Minus this guy over here. Haha, now I can just talk and you guys have no idea. GMing in the dark, I love it. You know, back in the old days, they would just have a screen in front of the GM and you wouldn't even see them at all. And it would be just...
Is that when you just hear the math rocks hit the table and then you get scared because you heard a lot of them and nothing was happening just a second ago?
What is all this rolling going on?
Or you hear no math rocks, but the DM says, oh, you failed that check.
Yes. And you're like, wait a minute, did you roll that on Velvet? Because suspicious. Yes, indeed. Let's get right to suspicious GM activity. I think that sounds pretty awesome. So as a quick recap, since it has been a couple of weeks, we did go through the first part of this dwarven shrine. It was a kind of a lost shrine to an ancient dwarven god of greed called Abathor. And our party had been on a mission to connect with some miners, some excavators that had come upon this lost shrine and had sent word back to Phandalin that they would be spending some time here looking for lost relics and things of that nature. With this dragon, Cryovane, moving into the Sword Mountains and driving a lot of the local creatures from the mountain reaches and into the lowlands, it has definitely been a lot of cause for alarm. There's been a lot of monstrous creatures coming down from the highlands, as well as hordes of goblins and orcs, even some signs of ogres and things of that like, being driven out by this dragon. And our party themselves even caught sight of this dragon as it was out hunting one day, realizing the immediate threat that this beast does pose to this land. Threatening to some more than others. So they did manage to get to this ancient dwarven shrine. And they ran into a couple of dwarves outside who had camped down for the night and were enjoying their evening meal when the group came upon them. And after some discussion, have realized that there seemed to be some sort of a threat within this mine itself. And after bartering a deal with this team, they were offered a reward of sorts in some magical stones, and they were shown one of these stones at this fire pit when they were gathered around eating this meal, and told that the other stone, it was a match set, lies somewhere within this ancient dwarven shrine. Because the other person that owned this other stone was consumed by some sort of a slimy creature that came out from the darkness and surprised them. And the party was told that if they were able to retrieve this device, then they would indeed be able to keep these magical artifacts. And so, never being daunted by a tale of trepidation and woe, our party set off into this ancient dwarven shrine. And immediately got attacked by said slime creature. Teo, in fact, almost got completely one-shot by one of the surprise attack from this creature and immediately put this party on defense and set the tone for this little encounter. And after defeating not one, but two of these creatures, our party was able to kind of search around, and they found themselves a couple of secret entrances within the main chamber of this dwarven shrine. And they also found an alcove in one of the pillars, and after kind of removing this stone from in place in one of these pillars, there was this tumble of dwarven skulls that kind of spilled out from the inner recess of this pillar. And at the bottom of this little cavity within this pillar, they had found a small box within. And that was just about where we had left off a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to go ahead and switch us back over to that battle map. Let's get these players over here as well, because we have a bit of a situation here. And you guys will find yourselves here. So, as we rejoin ourselves here, what did you guys want to do next?
Okay, these are some pretty ass rocks. Let's keep exploring.
Me and Del have just come from down the hallway. There are doors to the right and the left. We have not checked them out.
You walked away? We gotta stay together. You almost just got killed.
Did you, like, not watch them, like, leave? Because I super did.
We were all over at the door when people got distracted by shiny rocks in a chest.
Hey, yo, you have to be more careful. You know, I might run out of healing charges, and since I'm the only person who really does any good healing around here, you might be seriously hurt.
Del looks over at you out of the corner of his eye and just kind of narrows his eyes a little bit. Remember that little one?
Now, hold on. I did something. I figured this out. I was thinking about this, and this is the perfect time for me to give this to you.
And Jellen will reach into his backpack and rustle around a little bit and pull out a 1 foot long silver rod.
Okay.
Now, I couldn't really use this as a weapon, but I think with your skills, you could use this as a weapon. Here.
And he hands it over to Teo.
I look at it quizzically for a moment, kind of spin it around a little bit, and suddenly as I'm moving it, and kind of spin it a little bit, it shoots out to the 10-foot length that it can expand to, and I start in surprise and look at it, and look back at you with a smile. This is an incredible gift. I apologize if I worried you for going out there. Me and Del did not go beyond where we thought was a safe means of travel, but this is fantastic. I will be able to use it well. Thank you. Is there a way I'm supposed to be able to move it back and forth between the two sizes?
Yeah, you could definitely see that there is some sort of a small button on there that allows you to extend it and then also to retract it back to the 1 foot length.
The description also states that there is a word that you can speak to have it extend, and the word, I mean, it could be up to your choice. My initial thought is Jellen was going to be
Excelsior!
just so I could hear Teo say Excelsior.
I was thinking more along the lines of more of a kung fu, like a hai tuk or something.
I mean, it's not as good as Excelsior, but if you gotta do something.
It is definitely going to be available for you to use, and that's going to definitely give you some nice little tricks up your sleeve with that device.
Has that been adjusted to be a monk weapon, so it uses his dexterity instead of strength?
I believe so.
We don't want to run into the same issue that happened last time.
Does this mean he has a 10-foot reach for with the quarterstaff, basically?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Still got to get in close for unarmed blows and flurry blows, though.
That's true. But he could also just point it at someone and just go bink and just bounce it off their forehead from 10 feet away. So.
It is classified as a simple weapon and one-handed, so it's not like relegated to two-handed, so that can classify as a monk weapon.
I would say at the 10-foot length, it would have to be two-handed. So.
You know, now that you have this, if you're not too attached, I think somebody else might need your spear a little more, maybe?
And he kind of edges over towards Lanariel, who still is probably frustrated after not being able to use her slashing weapon.
That all of her weapons had no effect whatsoever on these things.
I flip my spear off my back, which has a long pole and a rather long blade on the end of it. It was about a 12 to an 18-inch blade on the end of this big spear, and I just kind of flip it over and hand it over to Lanariel, handle first.
Yes, please. Thank you. Good looking out, Jellen.
Oh, here we go.
I slip the 10-foot or the foot-long pole up my sleeve.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to add a spear.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that just counts as a spear, if it's anything else. I would assume it's just a spear.
So you should be able to have that. You're going to want to equip that. Okay. So, well done. So that is going to give Teo a nice weapon, and then give Nero an option there as well. So you guys did manage to find a couple of doorways leading out of this chamber. And they both seem to be kind of some sort of a secret passageway, or there was definitely something that needed to be discovered in order to even access these doors.
So what did you find again, Teo?
There is a hallway which leads to a T, another hallway. There is a door further down that hallway to the right, another door shorter to the left. We have not explored beyond any of that.
What you find over there, Kellen? You found another door over there,
Yes. Kellen and I noticed the door to the north, and we cracked it open to see what exactly was beyond it. If it was just a shed or something, or just a little closet. But it's actually another thorough way that we could peruse.
Well, all right then. Should we go to the north or to the south? Should we split the party?
No, don't split the party. Don't split the B-sack.
Oy.
Jellen, come on, we gotta stop calling it that. Even I'm gonna. We already had this conversation. I don't want to have it again. No, I'm gonna say.
Present a more efficient way of describing our company, and I'll start using it.
It's very, very easy. It's our company.
The Boomsparkle's Adventuring Company just does kind of roll off the tongue as it is,
It's too long. Just B-sack, boom.
Pretty sure well against that one. You go ahead and call it whatever you want, little man, and he kind of pats you on the head.
He's lying to you. Do not call it whatever you want. Stop saying B-sack.
So which way are we leaning, B-sack?
I want to shock you. I will shock you if you continue to push this.
You see the little bolts of electricity start sparkling around the end of your brother's finger.
Teo is incredibly amused by this, and finally I just kind of shake my head and walk back down towards the door below.
Okay. The new guy makes the decision.
Teo, are you sure you want to be like first? I mean, kind of didn't work out so great for you before. Just, throwing that out there.
He likes near-death experiences.
I'm happy to lead at least down to the point where I've traveled before, but if someone else would like to go in first, I have no qualms with that.
Might I throw a third option? We've
Not it.
done the job we came for. We could just go.
There's more for us to explore, though, and we haven't found the other sending stone yet.
Which means
Oh.
there's likely more of these slimes. Because none of these ones had the stone.
But
So,
now we're aware and we're more equipped. We'll take them out.
And I feel if we don't just go after this issue now, it will arise again later to haunt us.
Or we get paid again to come back.
Well, we haven't done what they wanted us to do, which is get that other stone, right? That's what they wanted?
Yeah.
I'm really confused as to why we're here.
So
We were-
okay, so to make it all out, we came here to warn the miners. We did that part. Turns
Yeah.
out the miners who are here also gave us the job of going in and finding the other sending stone.
They want us to wipe out the monsters in here so they can continue their excavation.
Oi.
Okay,
Also
yeah.
that.
That's like totally what I thought. So we're not even like done yet.
Well,
As far as we know, we have to keep looking. There could be more monsters. And stones.
we're gonna get the gold we want from old Chicken Legs Wester. Whether or not we help the miners is up to you.
My man.
So we are now getting paid to go, well, risk our lives. Teo's
Ye-
life again.
Oh god, we're getting paid by the miners themselves.
And we're finding great things. We're gonna split everything we find half and half. We already found all these gems. If we get some jeweler's tools, I can tell you exactly how much they cost or how much they're worth.
Yeah, your guys' entire pull there, Alabaster, is the fact that there might be actual treasure, not
And
just
adventure.
cultural treasure.
When I was just gonna like
the
lean
finding-
over to Alabaster and just be like, also, it's not like we actually have to tell them everything we found, so like their half can just be smaller than ours.
I like you. Continue forward.
And sliming really isn't that bad. And I just kind of like keep peering up at the ceiling a little bit.
Right, come on, let's go. Someone else who's beefier, go first.
Well, I'm almost through the damn doorway. Calm down, little man.
He's already down and around the corner, it looks like.
Exactly. And I've got shorter legs, so
Okay, which way are we going?
Linearial and Kellen are uncomfortably close to each other.
that way.
Well,
Okay.
who would like to enter?
Well, I mean, since you're up at the front, open the door.
Did you check it for traps?
I don't know how to do that. It doesn't like look trapped. Like it looks like just like a door.
Oops.
He disappeared.
I didn't mean to do that. I want to peer after I open the door, and I want to kind of peer inside and look around the edges a bit.
As the door swings open, you hear this mechanical spring unlatch. No, I'm just kidding.
And then you die insta
I
death.
jump back a little.
I just wanted to trigger remembrances of nightmares for Quinn over here. So as this door swings open, it does a kind of a swing on ancient hinges. You know, there's a little bit of kind of creakiness to it. More like a rumbling than like a metallic squeak, and then it kind of hits up against like a little piece of rubble or something when it's about halfway open. As you look into the room, it looks like this used to be some sort of possibly a sleeping chamber or something like that, but one corner seems to be completely collapsed with rubble, and there doesn't seem to be anything of value. in this chamber.
So it was a sleeping chamber. Do we see like bedrolls or anything like that?
No, and actually, it's just kind of an assumption or a guess as to what this chamber might have been. You can see like some scraps of wood that look like they have, long ago, mostly rotted away, things of that nature.
I feel like I'd be hard pressed to even call this place rustic.
What'd you find?
Nothing.
It's
This
just
place
a
has been abandoned
room.
for time.
All right. Well, Lenariel's gonna walk in just to make sure.
Keep an eye out on the ceiling and any cracks. These are gelatinous monsters that can squeeze through probably very small places.
She makes a big show of like and looking up
Okay.
to make sure there's nothing on the ceiling.
All right.
I mean, what's with the noise? Yet, last time after Buddy Boy almost died, you were so keen to look up at the ceiling to make sure you didn't get slide.
Yeah, well, now my weapon looks like it will hurt it because it hurt it when Teo did stuff to it.
Also, how come you didn't already have a secondary weapon? I thought you were.
I do!
She's got like 12
I have
weapons.
a glaive and a hand axe and a couple of hand axes and a great axe.
So you just stuck to one? Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna get into it.
Are you being critical right now about the weapons that I like to use? You can't even hold these weapons. You're too little, so you need to stop.
I
So
can't
there's
too hold
nothing in
them.
this room. Maybe we should keep looking around the temple.
Can totally hold them if I wanted to. Okay.
Turned out there's a fire elemental in there, guys.
Actually, should I roll investigation to look through this room?
Turns out Lenariel is the fire elemental in this room,
That's
guys.
what I meant. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I will never say no. Roll it.
No, why not? Puts on the goggles.
Where's Kellen going?
Scans the room.
What? The room was empty.
There was another way to go.
22.
Sit down, cowboy. You definitely look around some more. You do see some more signs that it seemed to be. Well, you're not really sure for sure what this room could have been. Again, you see in scraps of wood, things like that. It does seem to be a little bit more damp in the corner where the rubble is, which looks like the northeast corner of this chamber. Definitely looks to be like there may have even been some sort of a passageway in this direction, but it just collapsed in a long time ago.
Jellen pulls out his crossbow and he aims at the dampness first. A beat. Waiting.
It glistens wetly.
Nah, it's nothing.
And then he runs back to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Did you say it looks
That's
like
a
there's
phrase I never want you to say again.
What?
It glistens wetly. I'm good.
I'll make sure to put more monsters in that have that, adjectives that I can use.
It's like the word squelching. It's just like, ooh.
It's mostly
Or moist.
mostly moist.
Moist doesn't bother me. Not even a little.
It's glistening
Moist.
and moist. It's
I think it's glistening. Why do I have a problem with that? I don't want. Never mind.
never mind.
I've derailed myself too far here. Then Ariel is going the other direction and starting to go down this hallway.
We've gone down a dark tunnel. Okay.
Is there another door up here, or is this a dead end?
As you get closer to the end of this hallway, you can see faint lines that are much easier to see from this side of the door.
If you hit 2 arrow keys at the same time, you will just move diagonally immediately.
I want to push on what looks like it might be a door.
You see it open up into a hallway. And as you step out into this hallway, you recognize it as the hallway that leads into the shrine.
Guys, it's like a circle. Or like is that a rhombus? I can't tell what shape that is, but it's like, it brought us back where we've already been, okay?
I don't think a rhomba is a shape, but okay.
I said a rhombus. God,
Rhombus.
it is a shape. You're supposed to be smart, aren't you?
Hey, you're
that
the one who
explains
said
the
rhomba.
secret entry we thought we discovered as we entered.
Yeah, we just loop back around. Let's check the north. I already checked the door for traps.
Okay. Kellen. As you guys get up here and you get around that corner there, you find a similar path. As you look to the left there, Kellen, you can see that it does look like perhaps there was a passageway going to the left here, and then it seems to have collapsed whenever this temple kind of fell to ruin. To the right, you can see that the hallway again kind of goes down to a door.
Well, Jellen said he already checked this door, so I'm just gonna open it.
The door that we just passed, not that door!
She totally just opens it.
Okay.
Every time one of them opens a door, I just flinch a little.
Okay. They'll learn their lesson sooner or later, don't worry.
That's what we all would think. Probably not.
As Lenariel opens the door and kind of boldly strides into the room, you do see that this chamber looks to be very similar to the chamber on the other side of the complex, but this one has not fallen into ruin. You do see a door across the room. You also see what looks to be 3 much more intact bed frames that seem to be kind of haphazardly pushed aside in this chamber.
I scan the ceiling as we're all walking in there.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard this story before, and like one of these beds is supposed to be just right, but all of these beds look very, very wrong to me.
Well, as long as one of them don't grow teeth and try to eat me, I think I'll be all right.
Do beds do that where you're from? Because I've never seen a bed do that.
We saw a throne eat Alabaster, remember?
We just got attacked by a throne.
Yeah, but that's not a bed. Those are different things.
Well, they said it could turn into
if
anything.
it could be a throne, it could probably be a bed.
It was just an attempt at humor.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I guess it could be a bed, too.
Hey, another door over there. What's that about?
I mean, that would be terrifying to lie down in a bed, then have it suddenly start to try to eat you.
I mean, your defensive
is made then.
We'll tell you the story sometime, Teo. It was crazy.
It's very easy. Alabaster sat where he shouldn't have sat in a no one's place and almost got eaten.
He did get eaten by a king's throne.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I'm pretty sure it's just because he's not the king.
I found the mimic.
Also true.
You're an expert monster hunter, sir.
Jellen, did you want to check this?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
What?
dang.
Tails in the wall.
Why is Teo in the wall?
I'm
That's
sorry.
over either. It's
Well,
like just a door.
Tails breaking physics.
Door, right. Yes, I will. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Teo, you're not a tabaxi in this campaign. You don't get to ignore the rules of physics.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Only cats ignore the laws of physics.
Alright, so who's going to investigate this door?
Jellen will scramble over and investigate the door for traps or anything.
I'm also going to back him up. Just look over his shoulder and correct everything he does. Being annoying.
Goggles down, scrutinizing the entire area with guidance.
Alright.
I do an investigation check on the rest of the room, see if there's anything lying around the debris.
Go ahead and roll.
Let you
I
go.
feel like Kellen doesn't have to clarify that he's being annoying. Because, like, that's just Kellen.
It's also just you too, you know.
Well,
Mister, I
it's okay. You're
have
allowed
3
to be
weapons that
wrong.
all deal the same type of damage.
You're allowed to be wrong. Like, it's okay. I hope it's not painful, though.
Jellen's just over there secretly happy that he's not considered the annoying one.
No, Lenariel adores him right now. He made her weapon better.
Jellen's tuned out. He's just trying to. He's doing his work on the door.
Okay. Teo, you do not seem to find anything of interest or use, kind of in the midst of all these bed frames. Jellen, you don't seem to find any sort of traps or even a lock. I mean, there's a lock, but it's not locked.
The door is unlocked.
Jellen's going to try to impress everybody with his bravery and open the door.
soon as he opens the door, I stick my hand on the back of his neck and go, "Whoo!"
Okay. Roll
Chaplain!
sleight of hand.
Kellen or Jellen?
Kellen.
You are
Look,
startled
Alabaster.
as fuck.
Hot roller. I got the maestro working again, so whenever you guys crit or crit fail, we're gonna have awesome songs that play along with that. Just so you know. So Jellen, he does indeed scare the Boomsparkle right out of you.
Ah, it's a trolley! Help me get it off me! Get it off me!
You just hear this loud laughter as Dell from the doorway just starts laughing as Jellen sprints across the chamber maniacally.
And I'll teach him to say science is better than magic. Thank you very much.
As Kellen, with a smug look of superiority, do you step through the door?
Oh, me no. I was like,
Renaria will go through the door.
And I say, friends, perhaps as funny as that was, loud pranks are possibly not the best idea in a place that echoes so loudly and monsters are afoot.
Pranks?
Does anyone feel like they just got chastised by a teacher? Because I super do.
he's just scared because
That's fair. I would be too. I mean, for like a second. I don't have a door icon. Sweet.
So as
Oh, there's another door. Like, literally, there's just so many doors in this place. This seems like a very weird way to build something. Like, why do you need this many doors in a mine? Shouldn't you
wanna-
just be able to like, walk through stuff? Like, wouldn't doors be inefficient if you're trying to bring things out?
it's not part of the mine.
The temple built in within a cavern, it's structurally sound. You want to make sure you have the frames of the doors that help prop up any rock. Also, if there is any sort of flooding or a cave-in, you want to have the ability to cordon off the area.
Oh,
Also count for when you're invaded. Choke points, very important.
So you guys can see that this chamber seems to be some sort of a, I guess sort of like a vestry where a priest would get prepared for their rites. You can see that in the southwest corner there seems to be some sort of a font in the wall that has long ago dried up. You can also see that there is a wardrobe on the east wall of this chamber.
I'm gonna open that wardrobe right away. Is there anything cute inside?
I flinch.
With a slight look of excitement, Lenario rips the wardrobe open. Looking inside, you can see that there are, hanging inside, there are two long red, it's almost like outer garments or vestments. It seems to be almost like made of cloth and leather, almost like even a leather armor. You can tell that these garments are definitely very ancient and old and tattered to the point of pretty much being useless.
Ooh, vintage.
Oh, Dell's not in there yet. Okay. And
Jellen, there's another door.
Oh. Alabaster, do you want to take this one?
And Jellen's keeping an eye on Kellen.
Yes, that is the wisest thing you've said today.
Finally.
I would only do it once. There's no need to eye me.
Finally, they're like, oh yeah, rogue. What the?
Oh, ow.
Well,
The door looks fine.
it definitely does seem to be free of any sort of traps.
So are you gonna do it or do I need to?
Oh, I was
And you
gonna
wondered why.
say, Teo, would you like to take this door?
I mean, it seemed like kind of a careless check. You literally just walked up and pointed at it and said it looks good.
I am that good.
I mean, it looks like a door. Like, I don't know what you expect this door to look like.
We've seen like 7 doors. It
To be
looks
fair,
like a
Teo,
door.
we actually haven't had any reason to doubt Alabaster and his checks. So far, we haven't paid for anything for his checking.
You know what? I have no reason not to believe you. All right.
This fucking one-shots Teo. I'm so paranoid about Teo getting one-shot now. It's like my biggest fear. Every time he does anything, I'm like, no!
So this is a heavy
Who
stone.
knows? Maybe that's where Darnold teleports to as soon as that's.
Yeah. If Teo goes down.
I am here for that if Darndle comes in. I will help the slimes kill Teo if it means we get Darndle.
Wow. That's brutal. So as this, it is a very heavy stone door, and as this door does kind of rumble open, you see that it opens out into another hallway.
I peer around the corners and up at the ceiling before I enter into the hallway.
Okay. You don't see. I won't go ahead and roll a perception check.
See, I told you it was safe.
He doesn't know you as well as we do, so he doesn't
you
know
were
if
not
he should
wrong.
just trust you.
Okay. Yeah. You don't see anything that looks out of place. Step into the hallway. As you step into this hallway,
And Teo is a very trusting person in general too. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
this hallway that's awkwardly not in the middle. You guys see that there does seem to be another doorway on the other side of this hallway. Teo, as you do open it up, you see that it opens up into another chamber. This chamber does seem to be almost completely buried in rubble. Go ahead and roll a perception check, everybody that's kind of in that hallway right there. Jellen, Teo, Alabaster, and Eric. Yeah, you guys definitely noticed this.
Alabaster and Lenore Ariel are the pink crew. We're all the pink dice.
You can see that half buried in the rubble of this chamber, you can see the lower half of what kind of a shorter skeleton. And just from the height of the legs, you could probably, especially Lenariel and Teo and Jellen, would assume that this seems to be probably a dwarf-sized skeleton. It's usually about half buried. The legs seem to be free, and it's the upper half of this thing that is semi-buried in the ground there.
Well, we found somebody.
Poor guy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a fun death. I wouldn't want to be crushed to death by a bunch of rocks. I mean...
Can I do an investigation check on the skeleton to see if there's any anything remaining around it?
Sure. Anyone that would like to do so may go ahead and roll an investigation.
Now, Teo. Aw.
There was just one job to do, and it all came down to you, and you screwed the pooch.
Fumble. Yeah, that just happened. Okay. I think.
Okay, so I saw like a lot of rocks. I don't know if anybody else saw anything else, but there are so many rocks in there, and it's all dusty and really gross, and like, that just sucks.
You are kind of trying to look over Teo and look over Jellen, but they're kind of just pretty much in your way, and you are unable to really see anything over the two of them.
Jellen specifically looking at the skeleton to see if it was whether it was crushed, eaten by an ochre jelly, and if it had a sending stone or anything on it.
Okay.
That's what I was looking at as well, but I'm not getting quite as good of a look. I'm getting a little distracted because I keep kind of looking up at the ceiling every once in a while.
You gotta slow down the investigation. I can provide you some guidance on how to do these things better.
And in your distraction, kind of looking around, you actually kind of put your hand on this rock, and what language was that, sir? You didn't say that in common.
Jellen, I'm not understanding you now.
Anyone that speaks probably Gnomish would understand what he just said. So you put your weight kind of on a rock, and it actually shifts, and it kind of tumbles out of the way, and causes a little bit of not like a big rock slide or anything, but just kind of, shifts a few rocks around the skeleton. And Jellen, as these rocks are kind of shifting, you notice a little glint of some kind of metal, kind of in almost through the rib cage of this thing, and you can tell with your investigation that this skeleton seems to be pretty old. You would imagine that any recent death of a dwarf probably wouldn't have left a body in this kind of a state in that short of a time.
No sending stone, but something metallic here.
Jellen is going to cautiously reach for the metal glint.
Okay. So you are able to move a couple of these rocks, and you see that there does seem to be some sort of a silver chain around the neck bones of this skeleton.
I help them move rocks out of the way.
Okay. And as you do
Stand
so,
back!
you can see that it seems to be a tiny jeweled dagger on this silver chain.
What do you think this is?
Teo, step back 5 feet.
I step back 5 feet.
Jellen also steps back 5 feet, and then one moment. He uses Mecha Hand, and a exoskeletal robotic hand on a thin wire shoots out from his glove,
Okay.
crawls along the floor, and he uses it to slowly remove the silver chain with the metal jewelry.
Okay. As you start kind of moving a couple of things, one of the rocks actually kind of puts a little bit of weight, and it kind of rotates the skull of this dwarf a little bit, which kind of snaps off the skull itself, and you're actually able to take the chain and kind of lift it off what's left of the neck bones there. And as you kind of raise it up in the air, you can see that it is actually a very finely wrought silver chain, and then a very, very nicely made silver jeweled dagger.
I really need some jeweler's tools. I can tell how much something like this is worth. It might also be magic, but I can't tell right now. And we just spent that 10 minutes looking at the gems. I think
Just
I might...
pack it away for later.
What's going on up there, then, Oi? You see?
They found a really cute necklace. They're discussing what to do with it.
Can I get through so I can check it out then?
I was about to say, you know religion stuff. Go for it. I'm gonna squeeze against the wardrobe out of his way.
Alright. Kind of makes his way past Kellen, and then very gingerly makes his way past Lenariel.
Jellen uses the mecha hand and floats it up to hold the jeweled dagger by the chain in front of Del.
Okay. He does take a look at it for a moment. You're just holding it up with the mage hand for him.
The mecha hand!
Yeah.
The mecha hand. Yeah, he does kind of take a look at it for a moment as it's hanging there, and say it's one of their holy symbols to Abathor himself, huh?
That makes sense.
But you know, with dwarves, anything holy is probably also worth a little bit of coin.
Also functional. A lot of dwarves like functional.
So,
Can you tell if it's cursed or if it has some sort of an evil blessing? Is that a thing?
I'd have to study it a little bit more to check that out.
I feel like an evil blessing is like just a curse.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It would be like a blessing and a curse, because, I mean, I guess it depends on who he's blessing. Because,
So
I mean, if he's blessing his own people, it's an evil blessing. If he's blessing somebody who's not of the faith, it's a curse.
It's true.
This is good. This is good theory crafting. We should discuss this more. You guys want to sit down and we'll take an hour or two and we'll
At that, Lenario's just gonna start walking
No.
down the hallway.
Hold on.
Discuss
Before
our
anybody
criteria
starts
card.
walking, I need everybody to roll a wisdom save.
Oh shit.
Who gets hit by the greedy god blessing?
And Teo, can you also roll a perception check for me?
Is this a magical effect?
Oh, that's true.
As a gnome, we have advantage against those.
Yep.
Advantage against what?
All
Magical effect.
magical effects.
I hate
Pretty
you.
much.
Roll with advantage.
I need to roll again. I got a 6 for 1.
Still not great.
My other one is a 21, so advantage really helps because the other one was a 6. Because we're brothers and we're colored. Give me a high five!
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
Why did it? Okay. So, what did you guys get here? Alabaster got a 13. Leno got the 6. Jellen.
11.
That was with advantage?
I was with advantage.
Okay. Kellen got that 21. Okay, so everybody except for Kellen and Dell, you suddenly feel this compulsion. And this compulsion just starts, it's just like this overwhelming need to possess something. And this thing that you want to possess is directly east of you. And as you guys look down this hallway, you see that it ends in this rocky, collapsed tunnel. But you feel this overwhelming, obsessive need to start digging, to start moving stone and get through this collapsed tunnel.
There's something in there. We need to find out what's in there. We should check this out.
I mean, shouldn't we get the miners first? They know how to.
No, this is more important. This is more important.
I mean, also, like, what can the miners do that I can't do?
They can make it structurally sound so that we don't have it like an
We don't have time.
while you guys.
You have no idea what I can and can't do. How dare you?
Miners will most likely
You have never mentioned
never in there for
anything
themselves.
about
And then
digging.
I actually can't move Jellen because he's behind the door. But if you want to move over next to Leno,
It's like I have a weird spot now.
I know you guys are all in the weird spot. So you guys
Okay.
all, Kellen, you see this, all four of these guys instantly go over and start grabbing stones, moving stones, and working on this passageway to get through here. And you see Dell just, very alarmed, kind of looking at this as this is transpiring. You got any ideas about this, Mike?
Yep. I don't know exactly what to do. I grab my water skin and put my thumb near the spot or whatever and just spray them all. Hey, stop it! Stop it!
Okay.
Water! Good, that'll soften up the rocks!
Yeah, they barely seem to be distracted or affected by this.
That normally works.
Stop it! You're getting my hair wet. And it's
It
not
actually
like
feels good.
beachy here.
It's cooling me down as I'm digging. Keep doing that. Actually,
Can I not roll
Okay, that
the
didn't work.
zero because I was distracted by Lanariel getting wet?
No. That's a good question, though.
I mean, these are the important questions in D&D.
It is. I almost feel like I should just give it to you because. All right. So you guys do definitely start tackling at this rock here. Start pulling at this. How long do you want to let them go at this, Kellen?
I really don't know. I'm gonna try one more thing. See if it helps. Never mind. That's not a good idea.
So Dill actually comes over and he comes up behind Teo and puts a hand on his shoulder and kind of tries to pull him back. Says, "Hey, give it a rest, mate." And you feel almost angry at this. Like there's this thing that you need to have beyond this rubble.
I'm like shrugging them off me, like kind of keep digging at it, and
This isn't good. They're not stopping.
Okay.
And Tails like agreed to everything, so I'm very concerned.
It's true. Okay, so this does go on for some time, and after about an hour, actually, of this continued work from the four of them, continuing to work on this thing, despite the efforts of Kellen and Dell, you guys do finally start seeing an end to this tunnel, and as you're pulling the last couple of stones away, kind of tumbles down in front of you into this chamber.
Because Kellen and Dell were not working with us for that hour, does that count as a short rest for them?
If they wanted to take that time to rest, it could.
I definitely will. I can use my arcane recovery feature then. After Dell would have tried to get Teo to not dig, and he's just like, "Nah, get off me! I gotta keep going." I wouldn't even try with anybody else. So yeah, I would have just like, "Yeah, let's see what happens."
So as this rock tumbles down and tumbles away, those of you in the front, Lanariel and Alabaster, you suddenly see this glow of this light ahead of you. And you see before you this chamber. And on the south end of this chamber seems to be empty except for this pile of rubble that kind of dominates the southern end of this room. And in the top part of this chamber, the northern end, you see a giant statue of an evil, grinning god, this dwarf that dominates the room. And you see he's holding a large battle axe on one shoulder, and in his other hand he's holding what looks to be a small dish of some kind. And on this dish, you see this glowing green gem. And this gem absolutely captivates you.
Oh, that's what's here.
Mine!
And Jellen,
No!
Jellen's going to
This
throw his...
Kellen, come on.
must be why I left my.
Jellen throws his mecha hand at the green gem to grab it.
When Ariel's gonna try and shove him in hopes that it'll distract him from controlling his mecha hand.
Okay, go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics on both of you guys.
And I try to flip over the both of them too to go get it.
Roll
And when they're being all,
acrobatics.
and when they're being all like, you know, Robin and Batman, I'm just gonna walk up and try to take the gem.
Okay.
Oh, god damn it! Teo got the damn gem for sure. And Lenariel and Jellen are like at each other's throats at this point.
I use my new awesome staff, and I just like activate it, and it pole vaults me, like shoots me off the ground, and I do this awesome flip and kind of snatch it midair and go and land.
Alabaster, go ahead and roll that acrobatics or athletics as well. This is a jumble of bodies diving for this gem.
Maybe you will also get a natural 20.
So close.
Unwise.
As you guys are kind of still in this doorway, Dell is going to be standing kind of in the hallway still, as Kellen would be as well. That 12, you're right there, and you're just kind of like, well, I guess I'll take it then. And as you're kind of reaching for it, all of a sudden, this form just flips right in front of you, and you see a tail just kind of landing down as he extends the pole out, and it kind of knocks the tray, and it flips this gem up in the air. And you see him reaching up his hand to kind of snatch it out of the air, and as it's kind of arcing down towards you, Teo, you go ahead and move. As it's kind of arcing down towards your outstretched hand, you see it suddenly flare, and then it just starts to disintegrate as it's falling towards your hand, and it just disappears into these motes of nothingness. And by the time it would have reached your hand, it just completely disappears, and you see the eyes on the statue suddenly flash with this green light, and then the statue explodes.
So glad I get to use my nat 20 for being charmed or cursed.
Everybody within 10 feet takes 14 points of damage. Go ahead and
Ow.
roll a dexterity saving throw.
Holy shit.
That is all four of you guys in that chamber.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that whole 14, thanks.
You're too busy trying to strangle Jellen.
I'm just trying to shove him.
Teo, go ahead and roll a dex check to see if you take that full 14. And we are looking at a DC of 15, guys.
Yay.
So Alabaster is going to take half damage. The rest of you guys will take that full 14 points of damage as this statue explodes in the northern part of this chamber. And you see
What the hell?
Dell kind of
Where's
like...
my damn gem?
You see Dell kind of, he has his shield up, and you see him kind of looking up over the top of it like, what the fuck just happened? Kellen, back in the hallway, you just see dust and debris just kind of filling the hallway coming towards you as this explosion rocks the next chamber.
Yelling there. Is everyone alive? Did Teo die again?
Almost. I mean, I'm all right.
You broke my gym.
Are you guys back to your senses? Stop being weird.
Are we back to our senses?
You guys do immediately feel this sensation of desire, this greed that had overcome you fades away after this gem is destroyed.
That doesn't bother Alabaster because he's very possessive. But one thing he's mad about is his nails are extremely dirty.
You see Dale kind of walk into the rooms. You guys are all prone at this point as you're kind of pushing yourselves back to your feet. Says, what the bloody hell?
How pissed off the dwarf god.
Obviously, it was some type of trap with the necklace, because after you raised the necklace and people were looking at it, and all of a sudden you guys wanted to dig for an hour because you had to find something.
What?
You guys dug a fucking tunnel for an hour.
Well,
You
that
are
doesn't seem
mistaken.
very difficult.
Why wouldn't you try to stop us?
Yeah, what's wrong with
You
you?
wouldn't stop. You wouldn't stop.
When
I
have I
mean,
not done
If
something
you
for
guys
past?
probably covered in this right now.
Hold on, back up. Alabaster did manual labor? Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure you're lying. Because I
See,
would
that's
not
how-
dig.
That's one of those things. Look, okay, Alabaster, I'm not lying. Look at your fingers.
Teo gets
Look at your
5
fingers.
back.
Yeah, someone's responsible for making me get dirty.
Yeah. The dwarf god you guys fell prey to, and then apparently exploded a statue. At least that's what it looks like what happened in here. Del, is that what happened in here? I was looking.
Oi, 1 second there looking at this giant green gem, and then the next moment, all Hades broke loose.
It was my jacket wet.
Are we
told you
sure
I tried
this
to stop
was
you.
related?
It's
Are we sure this was related to the necklace we found, or just our proximity to this room, perhaps?
I think it's the necklace.
Looking at Linnariel and at Jellen, Del says, "Oi, I've got one left. And both of you look pretty bad."
Give it to her.
Hold on, I can do this. And I will second wind.
Okay. So
Maybe we just take an hour, sit down. I can identify this jewelry.
Jellen, you're going to get 11 hit points
come
back. And
Ah!
as he's healing you, says, "Just remember that priestly magic, oi." And he gives you a little pat on the chest when he's done.
Jellen mumbles to himself like, "I could have done better."
Teo, go ahead and add 5 hit points. He gave you a healing spell as well. But it does seem as though Del is out of magic for the day.
Perhaps we should not wait here for an hour. Just leave.
I agree with retreating.
I don't think we found all the sending stones, or
No. Okay, so look, I'm saying we do a tactical retreat for now, and take a rest, because this has been a trying venture into this place. I mean, we've already had Teo almost die, and then everyone dug for an hour, and then fell prey to some type of trap that exploded and damaged all of you quite severely.
Yeah, I don't really like
Take a rest outside.
this whole statue exploding thing is like D-, like would not do again.
1 star.
Not is 0 stars possible?
I think the lowest you can go is
I
half
mean,
star.
Okay, half a star.
Okay, let's get out.
Yeah, so everybody outside. Everybody outside.
I feel like
Let's
that's a
leave.
fair assessment, oi.
Well, we'll try again after. Like, we take a rest and we all patch you. We're back to full health, full strength. Let's go.
Okay. So, Teo, go ahead and roll a perception check for me, because that was something I'd asked you to do before, but it kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Oh, I did. I think it was a 12, but I can roll again.
Go ahead and roll again. So, let's see. Okay. Oops. All right. So, where are you guys going to go next then?
Head back outside.
Back to the dwarves.
I actually can't move with where I am now. You will have to continue moving me no matter which direction I go. It says I'm colliding with a wall.
7.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
in the wall too, I think.
Now, can I metagame since I see an S at the end of this tunnel here, which denotes a secret door, or should I just leave the way we came?
What metagaming? What are you talking about? Everybody that's in that tunnel, roll a perception check. I don't know what metagaming you speak of. Yeah, that was a fail, and I don't like when they actually draw the freaking S. Yeah!
Dang, 2 nat 20s.
Oh, it was too close together. It didn't play the second song. As you guys are walking out, Alabaster and Jellen, you very clearly see the outlines of a door down at the end of this hallway ahead of you.
Found another door.
Yay.
What? What's taking so long? What?
There's another door over here.
Oi,
Oh,
Kellen.
okay.
Going too far, mate.
Jellen is going to wipe the remainder of dust off his glasses and eyes and goggles. Put his goggles down and inspect the door for traps, locks, anything like that with guidance.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Hi, Flint.
13. You don't find any traps, sir.
He just opens it up.
Okay. As you open up the door, you see that it kind of opens up into another one of these dwarven crafted hallways of this shrine.
Guys, we all here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow.
I'm gonna flick his ear.
Are we sure we want to do this? Continue to explore? Or are we gonna retreat for a bit, come back later?
Based on cardinal
Yeah.
direction, I believe this will take us back to where we just came from. But you do bring up a good point.
Or
I
also lead
leave
to
it
something
to a
more
vote.
dangerous.
Unless this loops around to a stairwell.
Very good hypothesis. Lenario, Alabaster, Del, what do you guys think?
We're already
Just-
here. Let's press on then, oi.
Let's just get this over with.
I agree. I say we are deep into this. Let's press forward.
Alright, if someone dies, I told you so. I'm gonna find a way to talk to you while you're dead.
It's okay if you die, we're just gonna put you in a robot body, it's fine.
Can mine be
Or
like
go-
a really cute robot
Yes.
animal?
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
all of that, yes.
Perfect.
You talk, I say yes. That's Jellen. All right. So Lenariel steps out into this hallway. You definitely see that it goes north and south. You can see that it kind of turns around the corner, going both directions towards the west. The southern path you can see does seem to be partially obscured by rubble, but it does seem to be open still.
Okay, so it doesn't look like it actually like goes straight back up. Like it's going west, so it might not. Yeah, west. Okay. So it might not be leading us back to the beginning.
As Lenariel is talking, Kellen, as you step closer towards this rubble, as you're kind of getting near this collapsed portion of the hallway, you suddenly feel a movement near your leg, and as you look, you see this yellow, slimy pseudopod lash out at you
Oh shit!
and attack you. What surprise. So 13 hit.
Nope. Mage armor for the win, bitches!
And as it strikes out, you see this magical energy that you had collected around yourself kind of deflects the pseudopod attack, and it kind of splats down to the ground next to you as it slowly kind of retracts this slimy yellow pseudopod. Guess what, guys? It's time.
Do
What?
we need to roll initiative?
It's time for initiatives.
Oh boy!
I don't like this. We're in two tight corners. Somebody help me! Well, Lenariel, there's time to try out the new spear!
Yeah, it's too bad I didn't also give her a shield. Because the spear doesn't do shit for damage.
How do I roll a 0 for initiative?
You got negative modifiers. Haha. I've been watching a lot of that Fox branded television show. Please don't sue me.
Well, Fox wouldn't sue you, but their parent company Disney would, so.
That's fair.
I know, Disney
Disney
owns
owns-
that now. Isn't that crazy? Disney
Owns
fucking
everything.
Wait,
Okay.
Disney owns all of Fox as well as ABC?
They don't own all of Fox. They didn't buy Fox's movie properties. They only bought their full television and their entire stake in Hulu.
They did not buy Fox News either.
Yeah,
Correct.
they didn't want Fox News.
Who wants that dumpster fire?
But they do own The Simpsons, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, they own all of Fox's TV now.
We knew.
But also, Indigo, do you want me?
We knew Bart was going to sell out one day.
One day? You mean back when when Simpsons
Yeah.
Butterfingers was a thing?
I know. I was stretching.
Don't forget, do the Bartman with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was your question, Kellen?
Do you actually want me to roll initiative for Sebastian? Technically, be it as well, he goes on his own turn, but
It's true.
up to you.
Teo does need to roll initiative. Do you know how to do that, sir?
You know, you guys had showed me, but I'm...
So in the right panel, over there on that second tab, it looks like 2 swords crossed with a yellow thing going on. And then you'll see a roll 20 icon. It's gonna be up
So above the chat window, where you're tappy to tappy, and we roll
here.
between the note and the skull. The yellow cross swords.
Is typity a technical term?
Yeah. It's where the dice
Damn
roller
skippy.
window is.
It's gnomish.
Oh, that explains it.
Say people misunderstand me because I talk in Gnomish and Dwarvish half the time.
I know.
Did you find it? Well, you know where the dice rolls show up when you roll your dice?
I see the 2 cross swords. My name pops up, but there's no dice roll. Like they're at the bottom of our
So the very
click on
right
your
of your
token.
name should have.
Should be a D20.
Yeah, there should just be like a D20, and if you click that. No?
There you go.
Ooh.
You got it.
but when I clicked the black space, it went.
Weird.
So the D20 didn't show up, but
yeah.
its button was clickable.
Yeah, the icon wasn't there. Okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and begin combat. Dun dun dun. So
Yay,
that
we're in a
is-
Shoot it,
hallway. That's going to be
Shoot it.
efficient.
That is going to start us off with Mr. Alabaster. You see another one of these slimy yellow creatures just lashed out at your
Friend.
compatriot.
Moneymaker.
You better not do that. Yeah, better be a compatriot, motherfucker.
Ally of the
I will
moment.
wait. Since I can see him, I can see him, right? The
Yeah.
creature.
Yep.
Okay, just make sure. All right, I'm gonna take a pop shot at the poor jelly.
Okay.
That just is hungry. That wants to eat a gnome.
You'd rather eat you or you're a bigger meal.
He would rather eat all of you.
So I aim, fire.
Okay. For 5 points of damage.
Yes. And
Don't
with
forget
mine-
to take attack.
Wait, are you within 5 feet of it?
Yes.
I'm right next to the motherfucker.
He's not bitter or anything.
8 points total.
8 points total, and I will use my bonus action to fire again at the little creature.
Do it.
Aha!
Or 11.
That's true. Let's turn that off.
Now, why couldn't that critical hit just have one turn to go? But okay.
Right? If only it happened on the one with sneak attack.
Had too many songs going there all at once. Okay. Yes.
So I do all that, and then I wink over at Kellen and be like, "You owe me one."
I don't owe you shit. This is part of your job.
All right, Kellen. What are you gonna do, sir?
So does Sebastian go on my turn, after my turn, before my turn?
Whatever you want, sir.
Do we go in tandem?
It's gonna be at the same
All
time
right.
as your turn, yeah.
Okay. And Sebastian's gonna fly over and give him good old buddy the help action, so that I can get out of this in the best way possible. And once he gives me the help action, I'm gonna go ahead and reach out with a hand while the other hand is touching the stars on my cap and try to give this guy a shock at advantage because help from Sebastian.
Okay. What's your...
Yes.
You're trying to attack? This is an attack roll? I'm trying to figure out, because I like what Connor does with the help action. But I don't know how he does it with an attack roll.
Hey, what does he do with the help action?
So with the help action, he, whoever's helping the person, so if it's like a stealth check or something like, or a passive perception check or something like that, they have to be able to beat your passive in order to be able to actually give you advantage. So I don't think that really applies to attacks.
I think that's just roleplay help, not for combat help.
Okay. That's what I was saying. I don't know how that would apply for combat. So go ahead and just roll with advantage, and we'll work that out after the campaign.
Okay.
$14.
14 to hit.
14's gonna hit.
On the bug. Takes 8 points of lightning damage and loses reaction.
Okay.
Run away!
Tactical retreat!
Okay. So as you put your hand on this slimy mass, as the electricity kind of races across this creature, you can see that it seems to have no effect at all on this monster.
I'm fucked. Fuck, guys. My lightning didn't do shit, brother. Help!
Ow!
And since the damage didn't actually hurt, because they are immune to lightning, I'm going to say that it's not going to take away its reaction as well.
Yep, I figured that. Still running because I saw this thing basically eat Teo, who's like twice my height. I'm out.
Okay. Go ahead and move. It is going to get that opportunity to attack her. For an 8, which is not going to hit you. So, you do manage to skedaddle away from this creature very safely.
You got them Boomsparkle jukes, bitch!
Damn, skipping,
He
motherfucker!
did, and that is going to take us right to Teo. And you see this gnome come flying past you into the hallway.
Best friend's back. Try to eat me.
I go running towards the door and pull out my rod, ready to attack. But I kind
This is
of
a PG-13 podcast.
There will be
It
no
wasn't dirty, you made it dirty.
pulling out of the rod on this show, sir.
Oh yeah. Hey, you
It's
guys
an
named it the
all-green
rod.
rod.
I hate it.
As long as it isn't glistening, we're okay.
I pull out this.
I think that's what it is that grosses me out about that word.
Yeah, we went there. If there were X cards, they would have all 5 come out right then. It's okay.
I pull out this oddly matte-colored rod, just not glistening at all. Just. I look around the corner to see where this thing is, and take a swing at it.
Okay. Go ahead and move your token around said corner. So after all the moving, it would be 15 feet to here. Can you get through the doorway? I'll just put you there. Were you going to try and attack it from 10 feet with the full length, or were you...
Oh yeah, I'm taking a full-length swing at this thing.
Okay. So that's only 10 feet of movement to there. You would have to step closer to do any unarmed attacks as a foe. But you can take this first attack from there with that 10-foot pole. This is a tight hallway. How are you attacking this thing with that? Because that's a very long pole in a very tight hallway. Are you just kind of like extending it out and jabbing at it? Push to talk, sir.
That's the problem with push to talk. He needs two hands to do the awesome pantomiming, but
I start doing hand motions and forget about that.
I feel you. Okay.
But yeah, exactly. I'm using 2 hands to try and kind of pin it to the floor, like jab at it and see if it'll.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead and since you're using 2 hands, roll that versatile damage if you do hit. Well, you want to roll to hit first. I'll let you re-roll that damage. Because I know something like that. That's going to hit. Go ahead and roll that damage again.
Oh, you have it set up as strength again, I think.
I don't know if there's a monk option or if you just have to put a finesse on it. Or just change the stat to scale with dex.
Is this something I changed?
Gave it the finesse option.
I had to do that on the Monday game and then add the ability to be dex. That was an option too.
I think if you mark it finesse, you should be able to click a finesse attack option. Maybe. I don't know if there's a finesse.
No, I'm changing it to dex right now. I got it. Okay,
Adjustments on the fly.
Hey, it's live stream D&D. Let's do this. There we go.
Well, the attack already hit.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to verify that it worked. Go ahead
that was
and re-roll that damage. Because that wouldn't have been the proper damage anyway. 5 points. Didn't have the +3 on it. Alright, so 5 points total from the staff attack. Did you want to try to go in on this thing?
Leave a space for Malario.
Are you going to hold your ground there?
Leave space.
So subtle.
No metagaming.
It's not metagaming. It's one of Jellen's Artificer Tinker toys that walks out.
Leave a space. Leave a space. Leave a space.
Okay. If you say it in character, it's not a problem.
I can only imagine it just being this little figurine saying, leave a space for Lunario.
He just has that. He just has that for like every moment of every day.
He's got like 70 different Tinker's toys that have different Lunario focused sayings on them.
In Jellen's world, every moment needs to have a space for Lunario. How are we feeling, Teo? You want to?
Yeah. I think I am going to disengage after I do that attack. I'm going to kind of jump back through the door again.
Okay. Go for it.
You don't need to use a disengage to move away since you're not actually in...
Yep.
I don't think it's in attack range.
No. He's not actually disengaging, he's just disengaging.
Oh, not the disengage
Right,
action.
yeah.
Just okay, just disengaging like normal people speak. Gotcha.
Yeah. You're going back through the doorway? I can move you in there. Oh, now you're in the middle.
No doorway for you, Teo. You just get wall.
I'm so scared of these blob monsters now. I just like turn into a ghost.
I
And
don't like when they design maps when the space is halfway through the... okay. Go ahead and hit and turn. That'll bring us right to Lunario. There is space
Sweet.
for you.
Oh, yeah, she's gonna
Jellen,
slide
make sure
right
that-
past Alabaster.
So you will be at 20 feet to there.
Yep. And then we are gonna, I guess, just try and stab it with the spear.
Alright, do the thing. You don't want to slash at it? I made little mini-sized ones this time.
I hate you.
Well, that's gonna hit. For 7 points.
And then I am going to go ahead and action surge. And take another swipe at it. I'm real mad from its last one. No, your buddy took so many hits from me and kept living, so you're just like not allowed to do that?
That 14 is gonna hit. For another 8 points of damage.
So 15 total damage. Shit, standing right there is a bad idea, and moving back is a bad idea. Everything is a bad idea. Fighting in a hallway sucks. So she's just gonna stand there.
Okay. Go ahead and turn. That is gonna bring us right to Jellen.
Jellen combat rolls out from the tunnel. And whips out his enhanced crossbow and takes a shot.
Okay.
Right through Lenariel's legs.
Gonna crouch down a little bit. Okay. I feel like I should have you roll a disadvantage because you're looking between Lenariel's legs.
He hasn't noticed yet. He's just focused on the jelly. The jelly of the monster, not the jelly. Never
Oh
mind.
my god. Did
Not
you
the
just go
jelly
there?
of the
Did you just go there? Oh my god. Okay, moving quickly.
Jed, have you been talking to my husband? Because this feels very like a normal
Oh my
conversation
God.
at my house.
And then he crits.
Inspiration, y'all.
That was inspiration. That wasn't disadvantage. You were inspired by this. You were like, yeah, baby. Alright, so we
Or a big old 10.
10 points of damage on this bad boy. Let's add that damage. Okay. You can definitely see that these attacks do seem to be kind of adding up on this creature. So, go ahead and hit that next turn, unless you would like to move some more.
And then Jellen will combat roll back out into the... actually, he's going to step back behind... He's going to do a backwards roll and roll underneath Alabaster's legs.
I'm going to need an acrobatics check for that. Why is Jellen so savage when it comes to fighting? Alright, so you come up, you just pop up, wow, just perfect shot into this creature, and then you roll backwards, come up behind Jellen with your crossbow at the ready. Or behind Alabaster.
And that is his turn.
He's so socially awkward, but then he gets in a fight and he just turns into a little ninja. Okay.
He's focused
That's
on
great, my
everything
dear
he
Jeff.
does.
So Dell can get to there with a movement of 20. Dell doesn't have any magic left. That's not good.
Dell
Yeah.
can give a help action?
I guess. Gosh, that's not good. So 20, and then they can't move anymore because that there's 30.
Yeah, fighting in a hallway blows.
Well, he cast Thaumaturgy, and that's really scary. I am going to give that help action to Alabaster, and we'll see what you can do with that. What you gonna take us to this jelly's turn. And this jelly has been getting beaten upon, and it has a friend right in front of it. Do you want to cuddle, friend? Not so much.
I do not consent to this cuddle.
How does an 11 sound?
That sounds like you listened to the fact that I didn't consent to this cuddle. Thank you so much.
You know, it's all about being consensual here. So this ochre jelly definitely does swing out at you as you kind of back up a little bit out of the way. It just slams this pseudopod up against the wall. You see this kind of wet splatter of yellow kind of ooziness kind of splat up against the wall as it kind of retracts this pseudopod back into its form.
Ochre jellies are woke as hell.
It's true. And you do see
They're
this
feminist
thing
jellies.
start sliming its way up this wall. And it seems like it's kind of heading towards the ceiling. But it is not moved out of your range, and it is still within reach, but now it's kind of sideways up on this wall.
Well, I was just going to yell back, Teo, it's coming up the wall. Watch the ceilings.
Okay. That
Teo nods.
is going to take us to the top of the order and one Mr. Alabaster.
Alabaster.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying Alabaster being impressed with everybody's nice hits is just gonna focus down and fire a shot.
Okay.
Lenariel's just leaning against the wall to the side after the pseudopod missed, so he's got a nice clear angle. Remember, you have advantage.
It was almost
You got the help action.
It's true. It was already almost a nat 20. See if he gets one.
Yes!
Nat 20 on that sneak attack.
Yeah! Alright.
And that sneak attack! Or the crossbow and the sneak, damn.
Yeah, roll that double sneak attack damage, buddy. So we have done a total of 16 points.
And very happily impressed with myself, I'm gonna take another shot.
Okay. You definitely see this first shot pierces into this creature.
Now, is the second shot advantage too, or just the first?
The first. All that good stuff went off on that first shot. But this one is going to be a hit as well. For max damage. Another 9. Good job. Rogues.
Do you get modifier damage on your offhand attack or on your second attack with your crossbow feat?
Yeah, it's not 2-weapon fighting. It's just another shot.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I haven't looked into that feat very much, so.
It's amazing.
That's rad. Yeah, super rad.
It's amazing. Okay. And that's the end of your turn, sir?
Yes, it is. Looking mighty proud at myself.
Okay.
Like Alabaster can get more smug.
Taking these dirty fingernails out on the local jelly.
Kellen, after fleeing from this hallway, your compatriots swarmed into said hallway and seem to be having some success. And it is your turn, sir.
Seeing as the hallway is packed, we're just gonna have Sebastian fly out and over and give some help to the next person who tries to attack. And Kellen will just be shouting, you know, just boom ba, go team, go team.
Yay, fighting in hallways. Okay. So,
I mean, inside hallways, I'm a small guy, but that's a lot of people. Go team, go.
that's true. So the Sebastian does flap back into the hallway. This is very kind of actually beneath me, sir, but I suppose if you say so.
You're hunting monsters, man. You're becoming a monster slayer. What higher calling is there for a knight? Aren't you a knight, right? Yeah, you went to the college knight stuff. Didn't you say you were a knight?
I am prone to a fanciful story upon a time. I am actually kind of getting used to this owl body still, but that's a story for another time. So, as it kind of flaps around the corner. Is that the end of your turn?
I have like this concerned look on my face. What do you mean you're gonna use this out, buddy? Wait, what's going on here? It's the end of my turn, but I'm like, wait, what does that mean?
Okay. Go ahead and hit that next turn. It's going to bring us right to Teo.
How tall is this hallway?
10 feet.
So can I, super kung fu like, try to launch out of the doorway there and like parkour, bounce off the walls to get around Lenariel and Alabaster and as I'm going by, use my staff to kind of whack the blob and try to knock it off the wall back onto the floor?
Sadly, that would actually put you in the monster space at the end of your movement. So I wouldn't be able to...
I can't continue past and try to get, as I hit it off, get behind it. Or if I can't knock it off the wall, can I still bounce over their heads and get around the other side of it so that Lenariel's on one side and I'm on the other?
No, because they're difficult terrain, so instead of 5 feet of movement, it actually counts as 10. So the Dell space is 10, Lenariel would be 20, and then you only have 30 feet of movement. Oh wait, do you have extra movement?
I have,
You have 40?
35, I think.
You should have 40, right?
I do have 40, yeah.
Okay, so you do actually have enough. Only because you're a monk, and I gripe a lot about monks, but I do like to give them cool things too. Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
A lot of this move is flavor.
It is. That 10 though.
That looked like a crit on my screen.
No.
I know it wasn't, but...
Actually, go ahead and roll that again because you had a little flapping owl giving you a help action.
That's right. Says Boomba. Go team,
Should
go.
I just re-roll that again with advantage then?
No, just one more time. Oof, it was worse. I tried, man, I tried. So did the owl. So I will say that you can get to the other side of this creature, but you would not be able to attack it.
Cool.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and move you here. And that is going to put you right there for the time being. And that will, unless you have a bonus action, if you want to try and do something with the bonus action, I would allow that.
Nah, just...
And go ahead and hit that next turn button.
Lenariel is just gonna grab the spear and aim it straight to the, like, whatever she thinks his head would be, to try and see if she can, like, stab him and yank him off the wall.
At the center of this slimy mass. Go ahead and make that. That's gonna hit.
Oh wait, this thing is versatile?
Yeah, I was right about to say that. The last time you rolled 1d6s on
Yeah.
it. Really.
My bad.
Okay, so 9 points total.
Yes. Also, it's not showing me as proficient, so I will fix that for my next turn.
As you step forward and you slam your spear into this thing on the wall, it kind of like the point of the spear kind of plunks into this stone, and you see this jelly-like creature just start quivering as it's kind of on this wall, and all of a sudden it just kind of releases its form and just kind of slimes its way and slops its way down the wall. And as you pull your spear back, you see it just kind of almost like, you know, those old sticky octopus things you could get and throw them at the window and they would roll their way down. It kind of does one of those as it kind of rolls down the wall and then just kind of forms into this oozy, slimy puddle on the floor.
That's your gross little friend.
As Lenariel ends this threat. And you guys feel the dank darkness of this shrine.
Nicely done, Lenariel.
Woo!
Thanks for the spear.
I'm glad the spear came in useful.
So what would you guys like to do in this?
I want to inspect the hallway behind me because I kind of went flipping over here in the heat of battle.
Okay.
I want to see if that slimy fuck has anything in him.
Okay. Go
Jellen
ahead.
was going to do the same. Just got to squeeze past. Excuse me, Harvey. Excuse me. And squeeze and try to get over to also investigate the jelly with guidance.
Teo, roll perception. Everybody else that would like to investigate something, go ahead and roll that investigation. Teo, you do see at the end of this hallway a familiar outline of a scene that you suspect very strongly is yet another of these hidden doors. Jellen and Linnariel, as you are searching through the remains of this creature, it's actually not the creature itself. And Linnariel, you're kind of poking around in the residue and what's left of this monster. Jellen, just on a little bit of insight, you kind of go over to where the rocks were, where this monster had kind of oozed its way out of. And after poking around a little bit, you see a little glimmer of some kind of a white surface buried in the rubble.
And Jellen's going to try to reach it in for the white surface.
Okay.
And what did you say I recognized down the hallway?
I'm sorry, what?
What did you say I recognized down the hallway?
It looked like an outline of another doorway, like a secret door like you had seen previous. As you kind of reach in and you grab this thing, you recognize instantly it looks like a twin of this stone that had been shown to you out at the fire pit outside.
Ha! Got it! Yes! Testing! This is Jellen of the Boomsparkle Adventuring Company. Can you hear me?
What? It works. You found it.
Yes, we found it. We eliminated several of these ochre jelly monsters.
Oh.
We're doing great!
Oh, that's wonderful. Is everyone okay?
Relatively.
Oh, well, please do be careful. And as this voice, and you recognize it, obviously, as the dwarf, Dazzlin, from outside. And every time Dazzlin voice kind of rings out from the stone, you see like this little pulse of like this whitish light as she talks, like every word kind of pulses with the syllables.
This is a cool thing.
Okay. After pulling out the stone, you kind of look around a little bit, and you do notice a glint of gold as well within this room.
Oh, there seems to be a little more.
Okay.
I'm going to reach for the gold.
All right. And you do, after kind of scrabbling around a bit, you do find some gold coins. You also find some silver coins and 2 platinum pieces. It seems to have possibly at one point been somebody's coin, pouch, and this is kind of what's left of that. You find 10 silver pieces and 5 gold pieces, and then the 2 platinum as well.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
What did I say? 10 silver pieces, 5 gold, and 2 platinum. So, Teo, you do see this doorway before you. And Alabaster, you do know that this hallway does stretch out to the north behind you as well.
Should we take a quick break, or are we powering on?
You know what I want to do, so you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Let's check up over here, Alabaster. I got your back.
I feel so secure.
I'll pretend that wasn't you being a smart-ass away.
It ends in a wall.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
And can I do a perception check on my door to see if there's any traps or anything on it?
Roll investigation.
No, it ends in a wall.
Oh, what about that right there, eh? And you see him as he walks up, you see him kind of point over your shoulder, and as you're looking where he points, you do see the telltale seams of one of these secret doors.
Thanks.
Dell's passive is pretty high, sorry.
Oh, my passive was way higher than that 7, but you know.
Yeah. Secretly, Dell could have found
I
every
didn't
secret
care.
door in here. He could have just walked in here and been like, "There's a door, there's a door, there's a door."
Just
All right.
walks into the tomb. The door's over there.
There's a secret, guys. Don't worry about it. I'll figure out everything for you. But I'm not going to be that GM.
Right.
So he does point out this one, however, and after he does, you do notice the same of this door. Teo, you do not find any kind of traps or anything like this in this door. You guys gonna open these?
Jellen, Lenario, either of you behind me if I open this door?
Right behind you, buddy.
Of course.
I checked for traps on my door as well. My
Hold
lovely
on.
8.
No, no traps, bud.
I might be the worst trap finding rogue ever.
Okay. You gonna open those doors?
I can't open the door on my map.
Okay.
Still not letting us through.
There it goes. For some reason, they put 2 doors there.
My door doesn't have a door.
It does now.
L'Oreal just runs over and is just like, "Hi."
So you guys find yourselves back in this main chamber of this ancient dwarven holy site.
It seems like we have gone in a full circle at this point. I think we've...
Probably that's
I-
paper.
I think we did a good job. Let's get paid.
Agreed.
Oh, thank God.
I like paid.
Right. So you're gonna make your way back out of the ruin. Okay.
And we head back out.
All right. So you guys head back out and find yourselves back out by this fire pit with these 2 dwarves. And right there is where we're going to take that 8 o'clock break. We're looking at 8:10 right now. So everybody, please hold on. Everyone that's out there watching, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We definitely appreciate you for that. We're going to take a quick break. Please just go ahead and use the restroom and grab a soda or whatever it is. Maybe a nice shot of whiskey. However you like to do your evening. Hey, Gigi. And we will be right back to continue on with the Fireside Tales. Thank you so much, guys. All right. We are back. Thank you so much for your patience out there in Twitch land. We are going to jump right back into this. Definitely had an interesting little wander into this dwarven complex, this ancient shrine to the god of greed, the dwarven god of greed, Avatar. And as you guys step out of this shrine and back towards this campfire, it's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And as you kind of walk back out after this kind of harrowing journey into this shrine, what would you guys like to do? You see Daslin kind of looking over at you. Norvis kind of is sitting there and just kind of begrudgingly showing a little bit of respect actually on his face. Still looking grumpy, but kind of looking at you guys like, actually did it.
All right. That's right. We did do it.
But you
We were
see a wide
competing.
smile on Deslin's face as you guys come out again. And she says, "Oh, blessed me. You guys made it. I'm so happy to see you all in one piece. Well, for the most part, anyway."
Oh, we also went, my compatriots went above and beyond the call of duty. They actually cleared one of the collapsed tunnels for you guys.
Oh, blimey. Is that what took so long?
Mm-hmm.
It was completely voluntary.
Totally voluntary. Didn't have a magical effect whatsoever.
Yeah, what was it that she was looking for back in there anyways, huh? Because what we found wasn't all that nice. And you see Deslin actually kind of gets a little bit taken aback at this. You know, she kind of just kind of visibly kind of tones it down a little bit. And you see Norbis just kind of, again, kind of get this grumpy look on his face. What did you find back there then?
Very little treasure. You
A lot
think
of rubble.
God agreed.
What do you mean? And you see him kind of get a look of alarm on his face.
Wait, are you talking about when he said very little treasure or when she said a lot of rubble?
What did you say about the God agreed?
Oh, I said very little treasure for someone called the God agreed.
Oh, okay. Well, not everything
found
is worth
trees.
gold, is it? What did you
No.
find back there then?
We found mysteries. There was a dwarven skeleton, but not much else.
There were like dwarven skeletons. One newer, one very old, right? Jellen?
Jellen is hiding behind Kellen again, and he's
Yeah.
he pulls out the speaking stone. He speaks into the stone from behind Kellen's back.
Yes, a very old skeleton. We found it.
As your voice rings out from Deslin's pocket, she kind of smiles and pulls it out. She says, "Well, you can come out. It's okay, you know."
That's okay. Do you have any jeweler's tools?
I'm afraid not here, but there's plenty of that back in town. Would you guys like to stay a little while before you head back to Phandalin then?
Yes, definitely. Because harrowing journey where people almost died. Also, do you guys, since you guys know more about the temple, does the God Agreed have like a certain symbol he uses? Like, you know, every religion sort of has their own symbol, main key symbol. What's the key symbol for the Dwarven God Agreed?
Well, usually something like a jeweled dagger of sorts. And as she says this, she kind of looks down at the stone and she says, "Well, I guess this belongs to you now then, doesn't it?" And she tosses it to you, Kellen.
Cool. Could it? Okay. Yep. Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Why do you ask? And you see Norbis kind of looking at you with a quizzical eye.
Because there was a necklace, and I'm pretty sure that necklace is connected to a curse that almost got my friends killed.
Come on, we didn't almost die. It's just like
The statue exploded.
I'm not
Your face-
arguing that the statue exploded in our faces, but we're all still standing here, so it
We
was.
still almost died.
An exploding statue, you say?
We found it. We found a necklace. Jewel dagger was the little trinket on it, and all of a sudden, 4 of them were compelled to dig through collapsed rubble for an hour to run into a room and then have a statue explode in their faces.
Was it on the chain then? You found one of their holy items.
Yeah, pretty much. Jellen?
Affirmative. Over.
Wait, Jellen, you still have it? Or does Dell have it?
I have it.
Okay, he has it. Yep.
Oh,
We still have it.
well, that would explain it then. You touched it, I take it.
Technically, no. I used a robotic hand to lift it up.
None of us touched it, actually.
I think
Can't be messing with relics if you know what to follow up them, can you now?
That's a very good point, over.
And Jellen's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
sit
what's
down and
really-
start trying to do identification as a ritual on the dual dagger.
Okay. As you said about doing this, you pull it out and you immediately see Norvis, his eyes kind of widen with alarm.
If I see this happen, I'm going to try to move it out of the way so that he can't see it, so it doesn't affect him.
Okay. Like before he notices it, you mean? Or like as you see his reaction?
I'm trying to do it. If I see him trying to peek in at me and look at it, I'm going to try to move it so he can't see what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's dangerous. This might affect you. Over.
I'm holding the stone now, Kellen. I mean, Jellen.
But it still speaks out louder.
True.
Over.
This is gonna be fun. So he does actually kind of look at you and, what you got there, little one? What are you about then?
He'll tell you what it is when he's figured out what it is.
Well, it kind of pertains to, what we're looking for down here. Kind of a...
And as soon as he knows what it is, he'll tell you.
Well, it sounds like perhaps you found a key. Did you
What?
see a gem back there?
A gem or a gem bag? What?
Well,
We didn't find any keys.
legends talk of a giant glowing gem. A symbol of the god of Abathor. He holds it himself. One of his followers can take it.
Lenariel just instantly, looks away.
Taking a what?
He kind of stops talking. He actually kind of stops talking at that and kind of gets a look on his face. Roll insight checks if you want to. Except for Jellen, because he's busy.
Dice roller. Why you gotta be so cool?
Ooh, harsh. Alabaster sees nothing. Teo, however, you definitely get the sense that he feels like he has said too much and he was just kind of talking in the moment and just suddenly caught himself.
Go on, Norvis. There is obviously more you would like to, or not like to discuss, but I feel like this may be important for all of us to know.
Job's been done then, eh?
Wow, that sounds like dodging the question.
Sounds like you all.
I mean,
you lot were
just
paid to do a
saying.
job. Perhaps it bungled up everything we've been here for months digging in the earth for.
Well, perhaps then you should have handled it yourself instead of asking for our help.
How about this, Norvis? You lay out all your cards, and we'll lay out our cards for what we have found down there.
You see him get very... He seems to be very reluctant, and he gets very quiet. And you see Daslin kind of looking at you and looking back to Norvis, kind of looking back between the two of you for a moment. And she says, well, they did help us. You might as well tell them. And he immediately kind of flashes this look at her. And she says, "What?
We do not have an ill intent, Norbus.
Don't be looking at me like that. We've already gone this far." And he kind of crosses his arms and gets like kind of tight and grumbly for a second. "All right then. We've been sent here. We were paid to come and find this thing. What do you want to know?"
Okay, define
What?
the temple or that gem you were talking about.
Find the gem, find the temple, and find the gem within.
Who?
Very certain my employers would be most upset if I were to divulge that information.
What is the final thing you're looking for? You said you are looking this gem. You say is a key, which leads to another temple with another gem inside. That is your final goal?
No, the key is like a holy symbol.
So the holy symbol lets you grab hold of the gem inside the temple.
If you're a follower of Abathor, yes.
Are you a follower of Abathur?
He just kind of gets very quiet.
Take that as a yes.
That's definitely a yes.
I agree. It's a yes.
I've been known to possibly, while I'm out mining, perhaps whisper a little something to a god or two. What makes any difference to you?
Not a huge difference for me.
No, it don't matter to me none.
I don't care who you worship. That's between you and your god.
Yeah, wait, how did this come up?
Because he wants the gem.
Oh, well, the gem is gone. It blew into
Yeah,
pieces.
the gem kind of exploded.
With the
Well-
statue of your god, it also exploded. It
Yeah,
was
it blew up.
I think.
Oh, what? Are
We're
you telling
pretty
me?
sure, like that's the thing that made us like dig, and that we all went for the thing, and then like Teo touched it, or like Teo tried to touch it, and then the whole thing blew up, and then
I
was
won
gone.
at touching it.
You see him just kind of hang his head for a second, and he just kind of starts shaking his head. He says, "Months and months of digging in the dirt wasted. That was the only chance there was at that."
This sort of is what happens when you don't give the full story. Things get fucked up.
Yeah, had you told us in advance, we would have been more careful. You said there was treasure. That looked like treasure. So, honestly, like, this is kind of your fault.
You see him definitely bristle at this, and he looks very upset. But you can see he's kind of looking around at a lot of you guys, and is almost seems to be measuring his chances at the moment.
At that, Lenariel will sit up a little bit straighter.
Now what's done is done. The statue has exploded. It almost killed us. But we're out now. Nothing can be changed by that.
It will be your head they're taking off when this news reaches
When this
Okay.
news whom?
my employers.
Who are in which city again?
I think we've had enough of you lot.
I mean, you technically wouldn't be telling which employers they were, just what city they were in. Again, we did clear the place for you. If we had known about the whole possible gem explosion / key thing, everyone here seems to be agreeable that we would have not made a big fuss about it. I mean, we went through a lot.
Norbis,
Yeah.
let's look at the facts. You sent us in to find treasure. We search for treasure. We almost die finding treasure. It turns out to be a bomb of sorts. Then we come back out here and you threaten us with your employer because you don't like the results.
It's the price of doing business in the wilds, then, isn't it? Looks like I have work to do. And he gets up and he starts making his way into the shrine.
Is Jellen done with it? Was that 10 minutes?
Mhm.
Can Jellen be done with ritual?
You're casting
Jellen
Identify?
was. Yeah, Jellen was. Yeah, for his identify ritual.
Okay. Casting the ritual, you can definitely tell that this was very exquisite craftsmanship that went into this pendant, this holy symbol. Obviously crafted by the finest dwarven smiths. You can tell that it has the capability of holding magic just because of its craftsmanship, and you can tell that it possibly, even recently had some sort of magic. It's almost like a residue, like just a lingering of the magical weave that still clings to this thing. But it doesn't seem to be magic anymore.
Just a pretty ass necklace. Norbis, hold on one moment.
And Jellen walks over to Norbis,
Okay. Hey,
kind of
over here.
freezes up a little. Freezes up a little in front of Dazzlin.
Okay.
We did find some treasure. Here is your cut.
And he gives him 8 gold and 4 of those blood red gems.
Do you still have that thing, that holy symbol in your hand?
No, I put it away.
Okay. He kind of looks at the gold and the gems, and he says, keep the gold. Perhaps the blood gems will appease them some. And he takes the 4 gems.
Okay then.
What are blood gems? Over.
And he kind of, just kind of, and just says, apparently Dazzlin is extended. I'll place here for you to rest. I'll not offer you any harm. And he just turns around and walks into the shrine. And as you guys kind of turn, you see Dazzlin kind of sitting there with a somewhat sheepish look on her face and says, well, as he says, you'll find no harm here. I do apologize for him.
It's not your fault he sucks.
It has been a long decade.
Funny thing is, Alabaster was really contemplating on killing Norbis just because he threatened him. But now I'm like, Jellen, did you just give away more of our money? Now I don't know who I want to kill more.
We had a deal. I gave him his 30%.
I don't remember that part of the deal.
I don't remember either.
Okay.
I feel like
In the last session, Norbis wanted half. Alabaster said 70-30. And then that was the end of the dealing.
Yep. Like,
I forgot about that.
literally said that.
Gentlemen,
Conveniently, I forgot about that.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm.
if we're going to garner a reputation, we want it to be positive. We want to hold to our deals.
The little one does have a point.
It's
Always.
true. We'll earn more money in the long run if we hold to our deals. More people will want to hire us.
That's right, establishing trust.
Always best to be honorable. You see him
Bigger reputation, you can charge more.
kind of looks at Alabaster out of the corner of his eye.
Teo doesn't care anything about money. He's simply trying to appease Alabaster.
Oh, Alabaster's a gentleman. He's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Most honest and trustworthy.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Jazz
Doesn't try to
hands.
screw somebody out of the
Yeah,
way.
he is. He's great.
Really good at checking doors.
Twitch world can't see my jazz hands, but they're there.
Has Alabaster ever lied to you yet? I mean, or he's been caught lying to you? No.
Let me rephrase that.
That's a better question.
Okay.
So,
So,
that's not what bloodstones are.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question, sir.
I asked Dazzlin what bloodstones are. Blood gems, whatever.
Oh, well, it's like a ruby that the priests would use in their rituals. Very deep red color. Did you pull out more of them, or just the ones that you gave to?
Yeah, I just gave him the 4.
No magical.
How many
or
did you
anything.
have?
It's very rare.
Oh,
again?
just very rare. Okay.
If you gave him 4, how many did you have again?
11. Alabaster has 4 of his own.
That
And
none of the rest of us know about.
that nobody else knows about.
Alabaster may or may not have snuck a few of those. All right.
We tried to catch him, didn't work.
He hasn't lied to you guys yet. So,
That we know of.
caveat.
My word.
Okay, so Dazzlin, after a few moments, she does look actually kind of awkward. She says, well, I suppose I should go help him clean up and see what's left. You're welcome to spend the night, as he said.
It's really nice to meet you.
I could use them.
Over.
Yeah, I think we should all rest. I'm a little tired.
She also makes her way into the storage room.
Y'all want to rest in the temple of an evil god.
We're outside the temple.
It's in the courtyard.
And no one said he was necessarily.
I feel like we're better off resting in here than we are like outside where that dragon you're also scared of could come flying by again.
We're kind of in the entryway and around a fire, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is, in theory, where they've been staying for the last few days.
It is indeed, and it definitely looks like, as they've said, they've been digging just to even expose the temple. You know, they had to do a lot of clearing of this ruin that was outside of it, and a lot of exposing the temple itself. So it definitely looks like this has been a campsite for some time.
So what do you mean that we're also afraid of? You're not afraid of the giant dragon that can eat you in one swallow?
No.
That doesn't seem like a very good sense of self-preservation.
Being scared of it doesn't do you any good. Being scared makes you stupid. Self-preservation has nothing to do with fear.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's-
there might be a healthy amount of, keeping one own.
I'm not like running out to go fight this dragon. Like it's gonna eat me if I try to, but I'm also not scared of the thing. It doesn't do me any good to be scared of it.
It lets you know when to run.
You ever seen a dragon up close then?
No.
I mean, have you read anything about dragons? Because they're stories.
I'm
they're-
not saying that it's not like strong and powerful, and I already acknowledged it could just like fly down and eat me.
Just
Like,
saying,
I'm
there's a
so
reason to
sorry.
scare them.
I'm not like a little tiny scaredy cat like all of you.
See, I feel like that's a jab at my height. I'm gonna just let it go. It's a healthy dose of fear.
It
Like I'm
probably just
supposed to
went
have-
over your head.
Ouch.
Burn! Wait.
Now you're
I
just
feel
being
like
mean.
that was a short joke too.
See how it is. You know what? I'm done. Everybody have a good night. I'm out.
At that, the wizard does turn in. Are the rest of you guys going to go ahead and take that long rest? Or are you going to keep a watch of any kind? How would you like to handle the next 8 hours?
While this discussion was going on, Jellen was scrounging through his pack, and he pulled out just a little box with a bunch of holes in it, a little brass box, and he pulled out a bunch of tuning forks, and he gave a tuning. He gives everybody's tuning forks.
Here you go. Hold on to this. Hold on to this.
And then he taps in the tuning forks with his tinker's tool as they hold it. He takes it back as it's vibrating, sticks it into a slot in the box, puts a Nixie tube on top of that. The tuning forks glow. He sets it down in the center near the fireplace, and he sets a 20-foot alarm radius around the group.
Okay.
Over the course of that 10-minute ritual.
Okay. Very well done. Anyone going to keep watch for the evening or anything like that? Or are we going to leave it to the gnomes' mechanisms?
Alabaster would not sleep. He'll be up.
You're not going to sleep at all?
No. Not in this temple with some dwarf who threatened me.
If Alabaster does not sleep, and Jellen recognizes this, before Jellen takes his, actually, I guess this will be a short rest, so you don't really need it. Never mind.
We're taking a long rest, aren't we?
I thought you guys were taking a long rest.
Yeah, we're taking a long rest.
Well, I don't know if this will count as a long rest for Alabaster since he's not sleeping.
No.
No, he's gonna end up with a level of exhaustion.
I don't know if he has to roll for that or not, but because I think you can spend up to a certain amount of time before you actually have to start rolling for exhaustion.
Yeah.
But he's going to get the benefits of at least a short rest to heal himself if he needs to.
Right. He's not going to get the benefits of a long rest, so you won't have exhaustion yet unless you skip another night of sleep.
I was actually gonna fall asleep. It's Alabaster.
Okay.
He's just gonna wait until everyone else is asleep and then make sure he wakes up before everyone else wakes up, so he can seem like he didn't sleep.
Okay, so you are going to go to sleep and get the long rest?
Oh yeah, there's no way he'd be able to stay up all night long.
Okay. Is anyone keeping watch?
Do you gain all your health back with just a short rest?
No, you can roll hit die to get some hit points back. Don't want your
And
hit
then
die
a long
extended.
rest replenishes your hit die. Well, half your hit die.
What is that? Oh, is that your alarm?
That is the alarm.
Okay.
I would put it the other way though.
See if we can work on a spell template for you. Maybe I
Well,
can.
Taylor's pretty trustworthy of this. Feels pretty good about this camp and the dwarves. He doesn't really trust the angry guy, but he does trust Dazzle a little bit. So he settles down for a long rest.
Okay. All right.
I mean, we can take shifts if we need to, 2 hours off. Nope.
Kellen's just out. Okay. So let's do one of these. What do you mean I'm rolling dice where you can't see it? Why would I do that, guys?
This is rude.
When would I do the hit dice? Before or after we potentially get attacked?
Hit dice is
That
only
depends on when
during
the attack
a
happens.
short rest.
Oh, so you don't gain any health back during a long rest?
No, you gain all your health back during a long rest. You don't need to roll hit die for it. You just get all your health back. During a short rest, you can roll your hit dice to regain.
And if you
some
had
of your
expended hit dice before during a short rest, you get those back during the long
health, you
rest.
get half of them
half
back
of them.
during the long
Gotcha.
rest. Yeah.
Didn't you know if you took an 8-hour nap, you could heal a battle axe wound?
Yeah. It just works that way.
Because we're superhuman.
Yeah, realism. But
I mean, you don't have
know.
to always describe the combat as a direct battle axe wound. It could just be the impact of having you block it, taking the hit point. You know what? Never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, taking wounds.
Look, okay, he didn't sink a battle axe into me. He sunk a battle axe into my armor, and I got a giant bruise. Okay,
It hurts.
Depends.
it does.
If you're wearing leather armor, it cut your arm off, homie. That's all there is to that.
See, it was a glancing blow.
That's when you get the option to get like a cool magical silver hand or something. You know, you got to grow from these experiences.
I mean, that's true. I would like a cool, like, mithril hand or whatever, but also I don't want to have. I'm not gonna like seek it out.
You don't want the trauma
like
of getting your hand chopped off.
I would love to build you a mechanical hand, brother. We can talk about this.
So, you guys do spend the evening in the courtyard of this dwarven shrine. Definitely a little bit on edge, a little bit uneasy, just due to the nature of the shrine, your experiences within, and of course, the memory of this this overwhelming kind of greed sensation that kind of overcome the four of you. Still, the memory of it lingers, but the actual, need to possess is no longer there. So the night does go relatively uneventfully. As the morning rolls around, the normal sounds of the wilderness morning kind of greet you. You do hear birds kind of chirping, things of that nature. The fire obviously has gone out. A very small trail of smoke still kind of rising into the air. Looked as though somebody had kind of kept it going through the night while you guys were sleeping. Go ahead. Let's see. What would you guys like to do with this morning?
Heal all my hit points.
Go for it. You guys all are at full health, so go ahead and mark that if you have not yet.
I'll call over Jellen in the morning as I'm studying my spell book, and be like, "Hey, Jellen, let me take a look at your research notes. I know you have to figure out the technological way to, do magic-like effects. I was just wondering if I could try maybe to, but as you say, reverse engineer it, like how you can get. You have to figure out magic technology. Maybe I can figure out technological stuff and transfer it back into magic, just like as an experiment."
Kellen! Yeah, of course, I'd love to teach you about artifice stuff. Oh my god! I've been waiting years for this. Yeah, let me show you everything.
What have you done, mate?
Jellen woke me up.
And this is the point where Jellen
Loses his
speaks
mind.
ad nauseum about technology, artificery. He pulls out books. He pulls out sheets that he uses his artifice ability on to immediately animate with words and pictures and diagrams and shit. Back constantly going, just talking.
And unlike everybody else, okay.
I'm behind it. I've walked up behind your shoulder. I'm kind of like peering over the both of you, kind of like looking at this, but it's all going way over my head. But
Get in here!
Don't think you need to peer over their shoulders. Just saying.
Well, that's it. Is I'm like leaning like way. I'm like at my waist. I'm bending over and looking.
You know what? I might take that mage hand cantrip next time, just so I can ethereally slap you guys every time I make a short joke.
So as you guys are kind of sitting here and enjoying your morning, as you're talking with your brother, You had kind of absentmindedly noticed that Sebastian was kind of fluttering around the ruins here and, chasing after his own breakfast, finding a couple of rodents scampering around in the ruins and whatnot. And as you guys are kind of talking, he's just been, flying around, doing his hunting and things of that nature. After a little bit of time, you suddenly hear his voice in your mind. And you just hear this, excuse me, sir.
Oh, Matt, what's going on, Sebastian?
I don't mean to bother if you're busy, but there seems to be some sort of creatures approaching from the southwest.
Everybody! As I shove a hand over Jellen's
I know.
mouth.
It's very exciting work here. You see, the idea of arcana mechanics.
We've got incoming. Sebastian says there's people coming upwards or creatures. So lesson time has to go on pause.
Would
Everybody
you
get
like
ready.
To jump into your familiar senses?
I do. After saying that, I would then go back and give a quick eyes roll into the back of my head as I look through the senses of Sebastian.
I want to kind of hide myself somewhere in this rubble that's around there to be peeking out so that I'm hidden. If someone comes crashing in, they won't be able to see me immediately.
Okay. So as you kind of close your eyes and you start to kind of concentrate on your familiar, you find yourselves in the becoming familiar environment of your familiar's mind. And as you kind of blink a couple of times, you look up and you look out and you see these 4 hulking forms kind of walking down this rubble-strewn pathway to the southwest. And you see, looking a little bit closer at these, you see kind of greenish skin. You see that they seem to be wrapped in almost what looks like furs, and you see them carrying huge axes and other kinds of crude weapons. And you suddenly, in Sebastian's bird form, look down, and just below you on the other side of the wall, you see another one of these creatures, which you would instantly recognize to be orcs. And as you look at this creature, you see it looking right back at you as it's drawing a bow back right at Sebastian.
Dodge, Sebastian, dodge!
And that is going to be where we end for tonight.
They're going to kill my bird!
Not Sebastian.
And next week, when we come back to the Fireside Tales, we are going to pick up right here, and we will see what happens next.
Duck and weave, duck and weave.
Duck and weave, indeed. So, let me go ahead and jump right on back over to this host screen. Hey, look. It's a GM face. This is the guy that's been talking that you couldn't see the whole time. Glad to see everybody. Thank you so much for coming to join us for tonight and hanging out and watching the show. I absolutely appreciate you guys doing that. I'm so excited to be back and broadcasting again and getting this thing back out on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and all the things. We are going to get these videos back up onto YouTube. Mr. Dread, part of the crew here, has been so awesome recording the last few sessions of this campaign. I was taking a little bit of a hiatus and just kind of having a little me moment. So I definitely appreciate Dread stepping in and doing that. You are a rock star, and I appreciate you so much. We will get all of these episodes uploaded to YouTube and make sure that they're all in order, so you guys can kind of keep up with the story in that regard. And get to work on this one and get that one up there as well. Please come and check us out on Tuesdays. We are starting up a new campaign called Frost Maidens. We're going to be using that Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign that just dropped from D&DBeyond, and I'm so excited to get going with that. We're able to put together an all-female team of awesome crusaders and adventurers that are going to kind of kick ass at this thing, and it's already had a couple of little episodes to get things going, and I'm super excited to get broadcasting on that one as well. So please come back here on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, however you want to watch it. And check it out. It's going to be really awesome. I'm really excited to get that one going. And also, as well as Thursday night at 6 o'clock, we do have that Salt Marsh campaign where we get to run around and be pirates and go stabby stab to the bad guys. So that's always fun. Please come and check that out as well. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Thanks for hanging out and watching the show. Thank you so much to my players for coming and doing this thing. I appreciate you guys every single week kind of taking time out and doing this thing with me. So thank you so much for that as well. And yeah, I love you guys. Hearts to everybody. Please come and see us again next time on the Cronus World channel. Have a good night, y'all.